At 29, Emma, thought I had life sorted. As a marketing director in the city, my sleek apartment with skyline views screamed success. To outsiders, I was thriving, independent, confident. But beneath the surface, old wounds lingered, invisible to most. At 24, I met Daniel at a gallery opening. Charismatic and warm, he made me feel like the only person in the room. Within a year, we married, convinced it was forever. But forever crumbled fast. After the wedding, Daniel's charm faded. He started hanging out with a crowd more interested in bars than ambition. Laughter turned to arguments, doors slammed, and I spent nights staring at the ceiling, waiting for his key in the lock. One evening, past 2 a.m., he stumbled in, slurring he'd lost his job. Months of strain later, my patience broke. I asked for a divorce. That's when his temper erupted. The man I loved pinned me against the wall. The shock stung more than the bruises. That night, I fled to my friend Sarah's place, called the police, and never looked back. My wrist healed, but my trust was shattered. The divorce was swift, Daniel was ordered to therapy, and he vanished from my life. Or so I thought. My family, parents, Clara and Tom, and younger brother, Ethan, seemed to have my back. They helped with the legal chaos and offered comfort in those raw months. But they leaned on me, too. Dad's bookstore was always in the red, Mom's teaching job barely paid, and Ethan, 25, constantly needed cash. I covered their bills, car fixes, even Ethan's phone upgrades. I told myself it was what family did. A year later, I was rebuilding. Therapy helped, my career soared, and when Mom pitched a family trip to Hawaii, I said yes. 2 weeks of beaches and sun, I booked it all, craving the escape. But one night at Mom's, over her signature roast chicken, everything unraveled. Ethan grinned, flashing a watch. "I'm engaged," he announced. I smiled until he said her name, Rachel, Daniel's new girlfriend. My stomach dropped. "My Daniel," I stammered. Ethan nodded, smug. "He's different now, Emma. Sober, steady, loves her. Been together 4 months." I reminded them of the police report, the hospital visit, the fear. Mom brushed it off as overblown. Dad stared at his plate. Then Ethan twisted the knife. "He said you provoked him, Emma. Made him defend himself." I laughed, hollow. "I'm 5 feet 3 inches, 115 pounds. He's 6 feet 2 inches. You believe that?" Ethan shrugged. "He's honest with me." Then Mom dropped the final blow. "We've tweaked the vacation. Daniel's coming. Since you won't join if he's there, we'll give him your spot. Can you rebook the hotel for him and Rachel?" My family wasn't just naive, they were betraying me, choosing my abuser over me. I left in a daze, fury replacing shock. 4 years, I'd been their safety net, footing their bills. Now they expected me to fund a trip for the man who hurt me. At home, I opened my laptop and cancelled it all: flights, hotels, rentals. I sent a group chat screenshot: trips off. Reservations were in my name. Enjoy June. My phone lit up. Mom called me heartless. Dad stayed silent. Ethan texted, "You're just jealous, a bitter wreck who can't handle my happiness." I blocked them. That June, while they scrambled for a budget trip, I flew to Bali. 2 weeks of emerald waves, yoga at dawn, and quiet dinners under palm trees. Their trip imploded fast. On day 3, Daniel ditched Rachel at a bar, later returning drunk, shoving Dad, and maxing out their cards before vanishing. For once, I wasn't cleaning up their mess. Back home, glowing from Bali, my phone buzzed with pleas. Mom's voicemail sobbed, "Emergency, Emma. We're stranded. Daniel stole everything. We need money to get home." I called, steeling myself. "You chose him, Mom. You dismissed my pain. Now you want my help." Her tears turned sharp. "We're family." "No," I said. "Family doesn't side with an abuser. You made your choice." I hung up, blocked her, and ignored the flood of calls from relatives and friends saying my family showed up at my office, begging. I was done being their fix. Weeks later, my cousin Mia updated me. Dad's health tanked from stress, Mom took extra shifts, and Ethan moved home, broke and bitter. Daniel's theft left them with nothing. Did I pity them? Briefly. But then I saw Ethan's smirk, Mom's dismissal, Dad's silence. Betrayal outlasts sympathy. My life, meanwhile, bloomed. I landed a VP role with a fat raise, bought the leather jacket I'd always eyed, and started pottery classes, something I loved in college. I dated lightly, joined a hiking group, and lived without guilt, no more bailing out their crises. A letter came months later, Mom's handwriting, 3 pages of apologies. They'd been blind, she wrote, swayed by Daniel, too reliant on me. We should have believed you. Please forgive us. I tucked it away, unready to reply. Maybe I never will. Now, I wake to city sunrises, coffee in hand, my apartment a haven. My life's not flawless, but it's mine. Sarah and my friends are my true family. My career hums, I travel freely, and I spend without obligation. I used to think being the good daughter meant endless sacrifice. Now I know strength sometimes means walking away. The moral? Boundaries aren't betrayal, they're survival. Love without respect isn't love. Family isn't a blank check for pain. If you're sinking under others' expectations, hear this: your worth isn't tied to what you give or endure. Choosing yourself isn't selfish, it's the bravest act. You deserve better.